Hello, welcome to my second video. Following on from yesterday's video where we opened a couple of these, the GTX 690, and we mentioned that it was a dual GPU graphics card. So I'm just going to talk about that for a little bit, what SLI is, and show you a couple of examples of kind of dual GPUs really, because it's something that is effectively now dead. It's something that manufacturers aren't really concerned about. At the absolute razor's edge, the RTX 3090 is capable of SLI, and that's for kind of video editors and 3D rendering, that sort of things. But in general kind of consumer, the general consumer area, it's a dead technology, and I don't know, it's a little bit sad. I did miss out on it really because I was playing consoles at the time. So we're just going to go through, I suppose, where it came from, who started it, and talk a little bit about SLI. So we'll leave the 690 because we've already kind of spoke about that, and we'll start with where it all began really, which was this, which is the 3DFX. There we go, it's in frame now. 3DFX Voodoo 2. This was the first graphics card that you could add another one via a little cable, which I'll show you now. Careful not to bump the camera. There we go. Add a second card and, well, almost or sort of double your performance really. So in itself, this is a multi-GPU graphics card, because you do have, well, that's the GPU. NVIDIA kind of coined the term GPU. Graphics processor, I suppose, or graphics chip. You've got three on the 3DFX. And the way it would work is you've got this, which mine's sealed, so I'm not going to open that today. And you'd connect it, fire that one, you'd have a second card, and you'd need a third card, which was your basic 2D video output card, which would usually be something really kind of SIS 1 megabyte video card, and that would just kind of output into that and then output to the monitor, because this on its own can't actually output to a monitor. It does need that other card. Performance was kind of, it did make a huge difference, and these guys were the first, and they called it, so SLI originally, when 3DFX were doing it, scan line interleave. What happened then is NVIDIA bought out 3DFX, and they then took that technology as well, SLI, and now it's called Scalable Link Interface. So they did change the name of the technology to better suit what they had planned for it. I do have two of these cards. One at the moment is in a build, and this is my original card that I bought for £12 many years ago from my dad's friend, because at the time this would have been old technology, but for me, going from a 1 meg card to this was something quite special. And this is the original one, original box, everything's in here. The only thing I'm missing from there is the really nice demo CD, which gave a fantastic kind of technology demos into what the card can actually do, which I'm a little bit sad I've lost that. You know, long gone to kind of the drawer of history, unfortunately, on that one. But I'm still really glad that I've actually owned the card still, and still got the box and everything for it. Not because of kind of nostalgia and memories, and, well, let's put it this way, value-wise, it does help the card as well. So NVIDIA buys 3DFX. Now they have access to SLI technology, or the idea of it. So what do? They bring out this, which is the, get this right, 7950 GX2. And it is two, I think I've got this right, 7900 GTs individually, then put together into a single card. Insane kind of performance at the time. And as you can see here, you could hook it up to another one, so you have 4 graphics cards, which would have been just absolutely insane. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. These cards aren't that common. You don't see them on eBay come up much, and especially ones that work are especially rare, because as you can probably imagine, you're probably thinking, the way a cooler works is it brings in cold air, goes over the heatsink or draws it away from the GPU. The idea, whoever designed this, is not a very good one, because the second card dies very quickly because it's got no cold air going into it. The top card heats up, that sucks in hot air, and it kills it. And that's what's happened not only to that card, this card, but also this card, which in true Blue Peter fashion, I've taken apart so you can kind of get a better look at it. They all rebranded kind of thing. They're all the same card, but they are rebranded. So the way it works is that's the bottom card there, and you have a SLI bridge. So unlike the 3DFX, where it was kind of done over the top, which you can still do with that card for another one, but it had this in between the two cards. Card will then slot onto that one, and then they talk to each other from there. They share the same memory pool, so I can't remember now if these are, I think they're 1 GB cards. Well, it's classed as a 1 GB card, each card having 512 meg of RAM, but you can only use the 512, which was always a thing with SLI. They never actually kind of used the full amount of memory that they were advertised to have. This card's quite badly damaged. That didn't affect it because it's exactly the same problems that these cards have, which is the bottom card is dead. One of the cards, as in like the complete kind of package, does work, but I have to really lower the frequencies on it so that it's underperforms, but doesn't overheat. So not fantastic. So again, their solution to that problem, and that was designed, was this. This is the NVIDIA GeForce 9800 GX2. I was trying to remember all these kind of names on that one. So the way they solved this problem was they share a massive heatsink. It's just a big lump of metal in the centre of the cards, and then you've got the fan just kind of blowing through it. Lots more ventilation, a much larger area, and that fan is then kind of a blow-through fan, which is strange really, because obviously that's something that you see now on the modern RTX 30 series, where you've got a blow-through fan. Beautiful card. It's probably one of my favourite cards that I own. This is the reference design. Extremely power hungry. Can still do a very good job, because the 9800 is on its own, and that's what this is. Is it? Yeah, two 9800 GTs, I believe, kind of stuck together effectively for double the performance. They're still decent cards, relatively speaking. They're not kind of amazing performers for modern games, but for a lot of the games I play, and that's something I'll do in a later video, kind of my favourite graphics cards, because the single version of this is definitely a favourite on that one. But yeah, that's a lovely card. This particular model, unfortunately, same issue as the other ones, where I have to underclock it so that it doesn't overheat. So you're not getting the full performance out of the two cards, because I'm having to kind of load it so much in MSI Afterburner that it's not I'm going to say it isn't worth using, but it isn't what it can do. I don't have, and this is my only one and my first one, many, but ATI were big fans of the idea of having two GPUs on one card. There we go, there's two. Thought I got the wrong card there, but no, those are two. Quite close to each other on that one. This is an Asus ROG dual card. Really good looking card. You can kind of see the two, kind of the heat sinks there, just on that one. See through there, the metal, the copper base plate, and then the heat sink over there as well. Again, very power hungry. I think this is the 3850X2 on that one. I've never tested this card. It was something that I got a long time ago, and just haven't bothered to, or I just haven't tested it. But I'm happy to own it, and anything that's early Asus Republic of Gamer stuff kind of just blows me away, really, that Republic of Gamer is still very much a thing. And it was back when this card was made. I think 2008 that came out, maybe 2009, something like that. The, I suppose, more traditional SLI route, so as it started, as it was with the 3DFX card we saw, was these cards are slightly different, but 9800 GT, and you've got the SLI bridge just there, pop it on, and then you've got two cards. I picked these ones out because they're particularly nice examples of one of my favourite cards, the 9800 GT. Really, I love the XFX design from this time, but that was the more traditional thing to do. You'd have that in there, you'd need a pretty beefy power supply to do that as well, and you'd have a bridge or a link between those two cards, rather than a single card. It was a little bit better, I suppose, temperature-wise, because they weren't stacked like that. There'd have been a little bit of a gap between them, so kind of cooling wasn't as bad. I have got quite a few examples of double cards, so like this, I've got a really nice XFX 7600 GT, which is the Fatality Edition, where it's got a, there's no fans, it's a passive heatsink on there, and that's is a really nice looking card as well. So yeah, that's just a kind of quick look really at SLI and what